Cochabamba's climate is actually quite pleasant. They call it the eternal spring because it never gets below 70 during the day and doesn't get much above 90. So it's quite pleasant. During the rainy season, which is about November to March or April, there's lots of rain, and when it rains, it rains. It's not just a little sprinkle; it's going to rain a lot. And so it's nice though because it doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. Now, if you go to Potosi, which is at 14,000 feet, then it gets pretty cold. You get into about 20 degrees at night with not much insulation, so you want to bring an extra sleeping bag or an extra blanket when you're there. And so that's pretty cold, and you'll get some snow, not a ton. And if it snows, it melts right away just because it gets super hot during the day. It's a pretty safe place, especially for me because I'm kind of a bigger white person. People wouldn't like to come close to me that wanted anything, but as long as you're walking where it's lit and different areas, they'll have members will tell you the kind of the things that you should do and things that you shouldn't do. And as long as you listen to them and really listen to the spirit, that if you're in a good place and you're doing what you need to do, you're pretty safe most of the time. I never had any experience where anyone wanted to do anything to us and to me or to steal anything off of me. And then so it was quite nice. It was pleasant to know that people wanted you to be there. So transportation, your feet are your two best friends. You walk and you walk and you walk. There is public transportation. They're called Troofies. It's like a little auto bus, and it's packed full sometimes, and it's empty at times. And basically, it's just as many people as can fit on the bus. That's how much they'll take, and you just give them a little coin, and you go. That's the best way to get around. The cheapest way. There's taxis all over the place. You'll learn that there's no rules on the road. I never had to drive on my mission, but just seeing people drive, I considered it a miracle every time that I got in a taxi and I came out alive. So that was pretty fun, but it was good. I loved just kind of seeing a different way of doing it because here everyone has their own car, but there they pretty much rely on the public transportation, and you'll get and had to learn of what line takes me where and what's the quickest point from A to B, and a lot of times you just spend it walking. So it's pretty cool. And then also from traveling from city to city, you travel on what's called a flota. It's a big bus. And they travel on dirt roads. So what would take it normally here in the United States of a 90-mile ride takes probably like 4 hours just to get through, just because they're riding on a dirt road. And so it takes a while, but it's a good time because it's the cheapest way of transportation for them intercity. And so it's pretty cool to kind of see that and just to get a new perspective of it all. And there's actually a pretty dangerous road in Bolivia. It's not in the Cochabamba mission, but it's like the most dangerous road in the world, and it's basically just carved right out of the mountain. And it's big enough for like 1.5 cars, but it's a two-way road. And so as you're going up, you kind of just have to give way to whoever's bigger. And then at times that causes one tire to go off the edge, and basically you just hope that it makes. I never had the opportunity of traveling that road, thankfully. But that is one thing that Bolivia does offer, is the world's dangerous road. The currency is the Boliviano, and it's 7 Bolivianos for $1. So it's actually getting better. But yeah, that's the currency there. Everything's relatively cheap there. So there in the markets, you can kind of get everything you need. And I had kind of both ends of the spectrum. I had one where it was beautiful. It was a 2-room apartment, nice. Gas-powered shower, which sounds like a no-brainer, but normally the showers are an electrical head that comes out with the wires like right next to where the water runs. And so it's actually kind of scary as you shower, but normally it's fine. You put it for Bolivian people, which the average height's like 5'6", and I'm 6'2", so you kind of had to shower with your head bent over, and so that was kind of interesting. But so I had an apartment that was super nice. We lived nice. We had a nice kitchen, and then one where it was just this room that was probably about 12 feet by 15 feet, and that was where we studied. That was where we ate. That was where we slept. That was where we changed. That was where we did everything. And so you kind of get both. Just depends on where you are in the mission, but they treat the missionaries fine. They're nice apartments. So